Hey guys, Christian Jones here with Firework and Marketer. I've got my colleague Elijah Kyner with me. Elijah, say hi.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Hey, we're going to start going live and recording some sessions as we get into 2026, just as one other resource to help the fireworks retail industry prepare for what should be a pretty great year overall. You've got the, semi-cinquentennial. Am I saying that right? The semi-cinquentennial?
Something like that.
Something like that. You've got the 250 anniversary of 1776. That's going to be big across the country. You've got the World Cup coming to many major metros, and you've got the 4th on a Saturday, right? So there are it's going to be crazy. And there are some problems, right? I mean, I don't know about you guys, but we had to deal with tariffs, right, last year. Some of you buy well in advance. You've got containers on containers that come in every year. And some of you, like me, I have my own retail fireworks locations in Kansas City, if you didn't know. We'll talk about that more later. But, we had to deal with tariffs last year, and that was a bummer. And we're still existing in a space where prices are going up. So there are some negatives, but that also creates opportunity. There's opportunity this year, both with just the way things are falling. God willing, we have some good weather as well. It should be a very celebratory, patriotic, busy year in the fireworks space. However, what we do at Fireworks and Marketer, if you're not very familiar with us, is we help our clients take advantage of a channel that is really neglected in really any seasonal business, whether you're Christmas trees or fireworks, haunted houses, pumpkin patches, anything seasonal. You tend to neglect digital marketing because this isn't even, for many of you, for some of you it is, but for many of you, this isn't your only or main job. This is a side business. So the idea is just get my permits, just get my product, just get my tent or whatever I need, my POS system, get labor. You're just always scrambling just to get open. And so it's the tyranny of the urgent that rules the day in fireworks. It's just urgent. I'm doing only urgent things that have to be done so that I can make sales. There's another category of tasks that I would call important tasks. Important tasks aren't always urgent. And I'm talking about the Eisenhower Matrix here. So the Eisenhower Matrix is a little 2x2 grid of important and urgent. And I would put digital marketing in important, but not urgent. And that's okay, right? Like you all generally, unless you're brand new and haven't had a stand before, if this is going to be your first year in fireworks, and I've got some of you that are working with us already, welcome. It's going to be a great year and we're glad to help. But if you haven't done this before, if you're new to fireworks, or if you're just kind of running the play the same way you have, digital marketing is something you've probably neglected. You might have a Facebook page. You might have a simple website. But when you talk about effective digital marketing, that's not it. Those things play a role. Your website and Facebook page play a role, but there's more to generating what I think is success from digital marketing than just having a website or just having a Facebook page that you have an intern post on. That's not it, right? The goal of marketing, no matter what business you're in, is to produce an ROI, period. That's it. Now, there's a lot of things in the middle of that, from I'm paying for marketing to it generated results, right? Like everything in the middle does matter. But if your marketing is just, well, I thought I needed a website and good things would happen. Well, I thought if I just got a Facebook page, people would just find me. That's just not how it works in marketing. And so just a little backstory on us. I've been in the retail fireworks space for, I don't know how long, Elijah, 2009? I always say 15 years, but it's actually like 17 years now, 18 years, something like that.
At this point, yeah.
Yeah, wow, I'm old. I don't look old, but I feel old when you say that I've been in this for almost 2 decades. And that's, but I started with 1 retail fireworks location in Kansas City. I'm up to 4 across the metro. And I also have a day job in digital marketing. I work in a completely different industry. Before I started Fireworks and Marketer, I was in a completely different space. I was in the tax and accounting space. And as I got started in that career, I realized there was a lot of principles within digital marketing that I could apply to my retail fireworks business. And it was kind of just a test. It's like, well, I'm doing this for my clients in my day job. Let me see what happens if I did this for my retail fireworks stand. And lo and behold, it really, really helped me grow. We 5x'd our revenue during COVID, from when I started doing digital marketing in like 2015 for myself to like the peak COVID years, which for everyone were just the top of the revenue, right? And that's been my case too. So we've stayed well above like a 4x to 4.5x mark from where I was before marketing. For a 40 by 60 tent in Kansas City, we're over 200K a season now, just for one of my locations. And before marketing, before I did that, it was around 50 pretty consistently. And so the idea here is digital marketing is relevant because this is how people shop. This is how people make buying decisions. The only way to get customers is not your signage or your intersection you're in, or radio ads or billboards or flyers. All those things are relevant. I have zero negative things to say about traditional marketing tactics in the fireworks space. They are still relevant. If you put a stand at a great intersection with great traffic and a good parking lot, it's going to perform okay out of the gate. But not everyone impulsively drives by a stand and decides to buy something. Many people get on Google and look for the best fireworks stand near me, the best fireworks store near me, the best fireworks whatever in Kansas City, in St. Louis, in Houston, in Dallas, wherever, right? There's other searches and platforms people use. And the thing I want to help with, the thing Elijah and I are out for in the fireworks space, is to help other retail groups leverage, to help you guys leverage these tools that are really effective and hardly any of your competition is utilizing. And the results when you do so are dramatic. And we're not going to look at the results for my stands today. We're going to look at results for two stands, two retail groups we've worked with for a few years now. Maybe one is actually in their first year with us, Elijah, if I'm not mistaken, and the other has been around for like 3 years, if I'm not
Wrapping
mistaken.
up the first year. Yeah.
Yep. So one group in their first year, one group that's in their third, I think. So we're going to look at results for a couple of clients just to try and help you guys early in the year, if you're watching this, get vision for what may happen, whether you're a brand new group like one of our groups was, or, well, and let me say that differently. They weren't a brand new group, but they had not done marketing before us. They had had a location, I think maybe for a year or two. Talking about the group in Utah. And then our group down in Texas had been around.
Few years.
Okay,
Yeah.
they'd been around a few years. So both had existed for a few years, but both had not really done marketing either at all or very much at all. So we want to just kind of do these live sessions. We'll do other sessions on what are the things you should do. You know, what about email marketing, text marketing? What about ads on Facebook? We'll talk about all those things over time. So keep your eyes out for new sessions. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, subscribe to our Facebook page. Make sure you're getting emails from us from our website. And Elijah, can you pull up our website just so people can see some resources? Let's show them where they can get the book. Let's show them where they can get a call with us. And then let's start talking about these case studies. But let's pull up the website first and just make sure people can see
I
this.
want to go back to what you were saying also about the that kind of graph you were talking about the urgency versus the importance of this. And I would say, yes, like digital marketing is that important thing. It's not treated as the urgent thing, but I would also argue that this year it's becoming more and more urgent. That it is shifting. The reason being that while a lot of your competitors might not be growing in this way, more and more of them are. This is becoming more of something that people are realizing, especially because we're in this space now. I think to this day, we're the only exclusive digital marketer for fireworks. I don't know of any other. And I think especially with our existence in this space for the last few years, it's becoming more of a trend. And I've seen a lot more businesses leveraging this. And so now the answer is we need to keep up as opposed to even we need to get ahead of the curve. And I think there's both. It's still kind of in tandem, but there is a level at which even just to be able to keep up with some of your competition that's starting to realize that this is important. I think that creates a little bit of a sense of urgency too. But yeah, let's look at the website here. I'm going to share my screen and we'll just kind of go through some of the resources that are available to our fireworks friends. This is fireworksstandmarketer.com. So upon visiting our website, there are a lot of resources we have available for all fireworks business owners. The most helpful one is we are willing to hop on a call with you and talk about the best strategies for your business for free. So we're not hiding kind of a lot of these recipes. We're willing to get on a call with you and over the course of half an hour, just share what it is that you need to be doing, how we can help, and how you can grow your revenue ultimately. A lot of what we do is just education. We're trying to educate people in this space what are going to be the best ways to get found online? How can you keep up with your competition? How can you get ahead of the curve with your competition? Um, and there are a lot of tools at your disposal. We are going to look at some of these case studies. This is a group of ours that has doubled their revenue in their last few seasons. But we also have a few other resources on our website here, including a free book that is available to anyone. So you don't have to pay for it. There's no strings attached. You can go to our website, you can click this button here, and you can get a copy of this for absolutely free. So you can enter your address and your info there, and we will ship it to you. This is going to have all the tools that you need for getting found online and growing your revenue. Anything to add to that, Christian?
No, that's it. Yeah, the ebook is there, the free call is there, blogs we put up, case studies we put up. There's a lot of stuff here that, again, Elijah, I think you said it well, and it's a relevant thing. There's not Before us, there's not a focused marketing agency that serves this space. We're the first. We may not be the last. I wouldn't be surprised if other people come along eventually, but I am in the retail space. I've been doing digital marketing for 10 years, and a part of what I've done in digital marketing, wherever I am, is teach and train and educate. And I think that we have an incredible offer that does produce an ROI and helps you grow in ways you can't on your own. But at a minimum, I just want to raise the awareness in our industry of what's possible and what could turn your business into from a side hustle into something that's a little more robust and stable in terms of revenue. So there's a lot of money in Fireworks, but there's probably more to have than what you currently are experiencing, because when you neglect digital marketing, it just lowers the ceiling of what your revenue can be. Digital marketing, when done well, is very powerful for improving, increasing, expanding your top line revenue. That's it. That's what we want. We want people to get in your store, in your stand, and buy product. Now, there's a lot of things in between. Some of these are more direct to that goal. Some of these services are softer, like email marketing is a softer thing, but they're all relevant. It's an ecosystem. So we believe in an ecosystem style marketing. It's a holistic marketing style. We are an agency. We're not just web developers. We're not just social media content producers. We are a marketing agency that focuses on more than just, hey, let's build a website. So with that being said, Elijah, you guys got a little bit of background on me, a little bit of background on the business. We won't do this on every live session, but for our first one, we just wanted to kind of give that brief 15-minute overview. And now let's go start poking at case study number 1 for the remainder of our time, and then case study 2. So Elijah, can you pull that up for us?
Sure thing. So we're going to just take a look at the website here to start out with, and I'm actually going to scroll down a little ways here. This is a client that's been with us for a couple years now, and this is data just from this last New Year's Eve season. So this is fresh. This is brand new. A little bit of a highlight here, a couple of highlights. Just a 50% increase in directions requests on Google, which we'll dive into what exactly that means, as well as a 58% increase in website impressions, 75% increase in position 1 rankings on Google, and ultimately, this big stat here is what we're looking for, that 23% increase in revenue. So this is kind of our core case study because it also shows the value of time in our SEO strategy. So I'm going to show a few more specific numbers here, but I'm going to our back end here of our software that we use for tracking a lot of this data. And so if you're a client of ours, this is what we show you at the end of every season. We'll go over the results that we were able to see, some of the hard numbers that tell a story here of how your digital marketing has been performing and how that links to brand new customers coming to your location. Directions requests, for those of you who are not aware, are directly related to your Google business profile. When you pull out your phone, when you type in a business, when you're going to go shopping or you need to get directions somewhere, you don't know exactly how to get there, that's that button that you click, tells you how long it's going to take, and then you end up, it maps you out a route. So every time you click that button, that registers as a directions request on this report. And so during that short season that we had, so we chose this range of December 10th to January 5th to give us a little bit of margin to look at how many people are engaging with this business. We saw 27 new reviews come through on Google and 108 directions requests on Google. And then looking at the website, this is separate from the Google Business Profile. When you look up a business on Google on your Google Maps, that little information uh, tab that pops up is the Google Business Profile, whereas the website, as most of you would know, is what you would see beyond that on Google. We saw 2,214 for the site. An impression is how many times the site shows up upon a search. So if you were to see a site, basically that counts as an impression on Google when you're plugging in a keyword search. Of those
Mm.
2,000 plus impressions, on average, this website was in position number 7. So that means it's the seventh item, the seventh website that you would see on Google. And that resulted in 29 clicks, or when you actually click on that website to read more or to view the page. And this is helpful data. This is one small Texas stand, and this is helpful data to see. But what really tells us a story is when we compare this to the previous season. So I'm going to scroll back up here and change our date range, and we're going to just look at the same exact dates, but from 1 year prior. And we can watch how these numbers change. So we had 108 directions requests. And once this data loads, we'll see the improvement over a year. So that's exactly double. Going back to what we were looking at on the website, that 50% increase, that's double the directions requests. So
Hmm.
that's twice as many new customers or potential customers finding this business on Google and clicking get directions. What we find based on the data that we look at is that most of those convert to paying customers. That we would say probably around, what would you say, Christian, 75, 90,
98%,
98%.
95%. I
Okay.
mean, because if you're getting direction requests, there's an insane high level of intent. The intent is, I want to go to this place right now and I want to buy something. Is it 100%? You can never guarantee that, and it's impossible to know. But the level of intent that a direction request tells us is that, that is a very interested, about to spend money with you customer. And so when you look at revenue increase, this is not the only way to do it, but this is a big way to do it. So you need that Google business profile to begin with. And maybe we can look at their Google business profile, Elijah, while we're still here, just so people can see it. That Google business profile needs to exist, which is hard to do. And then you need to optimize it and get reviews. And we help with all of that. So we helped many groups get their profile live for the first time. Some already have a profile that exists, and then we're optimizing whether it's a new one or an existing one, and we're helping get reviews whether it's a new one or an existing one. So that Google profile, if you can pull that up and just show them the front end, just so they can kind of visualize exactly where this data is coming from, because I know you explained it, but the visual may just give them a little bit more clarity. All right, let me share my screen. Okay, so here's what their Google business profile is. Elijah, can you see my right screen?
Yep. There we
Okay,
go.
so here's the reviews. Here's the, click to get their website. Here's the click to get directions would come up if I was on my phone, but I'm not. Let's go to maps and we'll show you that as well. Here's where I could click to get directions. I'm on my laptop, but most of the time this happens on the phone. So this profile existed for them before us, but they didn't have as many reviews. They didn't have a website that was as functional. And that's where you're seeing Google is ranking them higher than they were ranking before us. And that is leading to a very positive outcomes. Elijah, can you see this screen here for Search Console? So this is their website search traffic. This is the raw data. I know we're kind of showing you the client front end, but this is a little bit deeper dive. So you have December to January, December 24 to January 25, compared against December 25 to January 26. Look at the increase in impressions, 991 to 2,270. Why? Because time, consistency, doing the right things helps you rank higher on Google, helps more people see you, helps more people get into your stand. It's not more complicated than that. That's the goal. So it's your website and it's your Google business profile. This is not the only parts of the ecosystem that matter. But when we look at the data Elijah was presenting, it relates to this: your website traffic, your Google business page. So if you don't have a Google business page, that's where we got to start. If you don't have a website at all, or a website that's built well, that's where we got to start. I want to
You
comment
gotta
just
be
a little
posting
bit.
content too, where we post content to these
Yes.
profiles. If you're not doing that on your Google Business
Yep.
Profile, do that. Google wants to see fresh, updated content on Google to communicate that it's an active profile and that you're an active business, as well as active social links that are linked to the Google Business Profile as well. So yeah.
Right. So you can see a bunch of reviews from just a month ago. We're in early February right now. This obviously would have been for the New Year season. Getting new reviews is a part of this. So again, like we implement and execute on many things, and then we partner with our clients to help them increase their reviews while they're open. But all of that results in, Elijah, I'll let you take back over. I'm going to stop sharing. That results in the data that Elijah was showing earlier, which is mainly, let's go back to our website view for the FSM site for their data just to get the high level. And then let's go back to the keywords after that. But the main thing, guys, again, is that marketing needs to generate an ROI. That's it. Marketing needs to generate an ROI. And so you see some of the downstream metrics that Elijah and I are looking at. 50% increase in direction requests. And the thing I would say about that is, 54 direction requests to 108. How much is your average sale? Many people, it's around $100. I run into some people, it's 150, 200, 250, 75. It's all over the place, but generally $100 is my average cost per transaction, right? Over the whole season. So just that alone, this is not every customer that found them, but just people clicking get directions and going to buy, that is that 108 number. Let's just assume it's $100. That's $10,800 they would not have had if they had not done all the work on Google Business Profile. And that's the felt effect, one of the ways they have a felt effect of people coming to them that they wouldn't have without digital marketing. Does that make sense? Without this profile and without it ranking where it does, you wouldn't be getting these direction requests. And 108 is amazing. And that's just one season, right? So they have their 4th of July season as well. But the numbers can even be more dramatic. And I'm glad to share my numbers too later. But that is why we're talking about these downstream, or rather upstream data points, the upstream things from revenue: visibility, impressions, proper website, increase your ranking. That will lead to revenue. That will lead to revenue. And you see here they had a 23% increase in revenue from last New Year's to this New Year's, which is incredible. They're super happy. They love working with us. And the reason is we're handling the basics so they don't have to. So the money they spend with us, it's so easy to justify staying a client, investing in this, and continuing because it gets better and better season after season. And that's not a shameless plug for us as much as it is some of you just need to develop the belief. Maybe it's blind faith right now, but you need to develop faith and hope that doing this consistently will lead to good outcomes. And without equivocation, I can tell you that that is the case. Every Fireworks group, if they did marketing season in and season out, and they did it well, and they did it with consistency, would see results like this. And this is a great point to illustrate consistency. So Elijah, can you tell us, what are we looking at here?
Yeah. Well, I mean, what we're really seeing here is just that our clients, the happiest clients of ours are the ones that are with us for years, the ones that have stuck with this strategy long term. And the reason is in the firework space, and we're branching into more of the paid advertising side of things, but in most industries, that's the juiciest, most flashy form of digital marketing because you are paying Google or you're paying Facebook or Meta or wherever you're paying for advertising. You're paying for instant traffic, instant click if it's done well, instant clicks and impressions. Whereas an organic strategy with that, time is one of the key ingredients. So with SEO, the longer that your website is live and the longer that you're consistently putting out fresh, updated content, optimizing your keyword strategy. There's new rules in the world of AI of having FAQs on your website and blogs and schema markups that we can get into in terms of all the technical stuff. But over time, with that consistent strategy, your website will grow and increase in rank. As more people click on it, Google ranks it higher. Therefore, more people click. And so this is a prime example. This is a report that we show our clients that just maps your average keyword rank. So we have plugged in a lot of keywords and that we're tracking, but in general, this is showing your average rank on Google. So if you were to look up, search for fireworks or search something related to fireworks, you can see that at this particular point in time, the average rank was 16.9. So we're a little bit lower, right? That's maybe bottom of page 1, maybe top of page 2 for these specific keywords. over time, there's a slow growth here, right? We're seeing a gradual increase. There's some dips from April 2024 to even January 2025, slight improvements, right? But now, as we continue to stick with the strategy, introducing new ideas to try to pivot and just take on a different approach, this rank is increasing drastically to the point where now, just over this past December, our average rank is around 6. So that's halfway up page 1, if not kind of more toward the top for some of our particularly important keywords that we're targeting. Same thing with our Google Business Profile. This was actually a point in this dip here when this Google Business Profile was suspended and we were able to get it out of that kind of muddy situation with Google. That happens in the firework space. There are a lot of well, with any seasonal business, there are things that you can do or try to tweak on your Google Business Profile that might get you in trouble with Google. And part of the wisdom and the knowledge that we bring is being able to navigate those waters because it is tricky. And you have to do it carefully. And so we were able to get that out of the suspension and in turn just increase that rank to the point where now we are in the #1 position on average across all of the keywords that we're tracking on Google Business Profile. And I'll show you another illustration of this and just how time is such an important element. This is showing where your website is ranking or how many searches your website is ranking for. And so you can see over here in the position 1 rank, there were 5 different searches where this client ranked in the first position on Google. There were 13 different searches where they ranked in the second through the 5th position. And you can kind of understand visually the increase. And there are, again, it's like the stock market, there can be ups and downs, but generally we're seeing a
Big
boost and
trends.
an increase, big trends. So just this past December, we're looking at 24 different keyword searches where this client ranked in the #1 position and showed up first above any of the other competitors in the area. And we've got the increase in the #2 through #5 position as well. And so, yeah, the time is just such a valuable ingredient, especially when you're trying to evaluate what is the best strategy for your website. What are the best keywords to target? And I can show you those keywords down here. So we track all of the most searched keywords related to fireworks. And this is just showing the increase and the average rank for each of these keywords. And we can view the pages where this is
Mhm.
happening, but you've got, the 3rd position here, the 2nd position here for the local fireworks stand. And then this is for your website. So organic desktop showing on desktop where your website ranks. And then on mobile, where your website ranks is this column here, the second one. And then finally on Google Maps, the Google Business Profile will show up here and we can see that we've got the #1 position for nearly all of the most valuable
And
keywords that we're tracking.
so you can see the deltas here. If it's a
This one's
plus,
significant
best
here.
fireworks stand near me. They were in like the
38.
40s. Yeah. They didn't even show up basically. And all the pluses are keywords they didn't rank for, and all the greens are keywords they did rank for, but we've gone up. And so you can see here, there's a ton of keywords that either didn't exist or have gone up dramatically since they started with us. And actually, Elijah, use the original report because maybe that'll show me what I was hoping to see because it's even maybe a little more stark. So yeah, let's go to the April report. And this is just, I mean, a year and a half ago. Yeah, so
Some
you
of
can
these aren't
see
even
here
registering.
exactly. So
So
those
this
pluses
means that
now,
your business had not even ranked in the top 50. So they would have been below position
page
50 on Google. So
they it's
page
anonymous,
20.
completely
Yeah.
anonymous. Yeah, you're buried. And so here's the idea: when you increase visibility, you build a proper website, you build the Google page out, you get reviews. It's not the only thing we do, but it does lead to results like this. Elijah, let's transition to the other client, and then let's try and wrap up here in the next 5 to 7 minutes or so, and then we'll hit another topic next time. But let's go look at um, the other case study on our website real quick and just give a brief
Hmm.
overview.
Absolutely. This is a client that I believe had been in business for about 6 years. Well, actually, yeah, over 5 years. So 5 years, 5 plus, um, at this point. And so this client doubled their revenue this New Year's Eve from last New Year's Eve. So during their season, for the exact same date range, their revenue was double. And a lot of that is related to the fact that they did not have a Google business profile, or at least they had a brand new Google business profile. They might have had one or two directions requests.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then their website was non-existent as well. And so in
Mm-hmm.
this past season, we saw over 8,000 website impressions just for that 2-week range, that, December 10th through January 5th, 350 directions requests. So these are all new data points, up from 0 the year before. That's an 80% increase in position 1 rankings. So from when we first started with them, where they were ranking when we had, their Google business profile and their website, there's been a 79% increase in those position 1 rankings. Another thing that we haven't really talked about is our email marketing strategy. So we try to build each of our clients' contact lists through various promotions, in-store and website incentives to give out different discounts or coupons and promote that to get new contacts to join the mailing list. And then our email marketing strategy targets those people and tries to bring them back season after season. We've added over 2,000 contacts in 2 seasons. So that's a little over 1,000 per season to their mailing list that we now can send targeted messages to, emails or texts. And so these are significant numbers. This is especially for a business. They've been around for a little while. And obviously their strategy before us was more the roadside visibility strategy, the word of mouth strategy. And now they've just broken into this digital marketing space, and their revenue has doubled from what they did last year. So, and we're looking forward to seeing that increase even more. We want to see that triple in a couple of years.
And
This
they're in
stuff
a
is,
small
yeah.
market. They're not in a
No, they're
big
in Salt
city.
Lake City. Salt Lake City.
They're on the outskirts of it, though, right? They're not in Salt Lake proper. They're in like a small township,
Yeah,
I think, to the
but they
west.
rank for Salt Lake City. So
Yes.
if
Yes.
you type in fireworks near Salt Lake City,
They're
they're
the
showing
best
up in
option.
those. Yep.
Which is similar to like Chicago, similar to other metros where you have a lot of like small townships that are legal. So like in Indiana, you've got a lot of fireworks stands that are trying to pull from Chicago, because Chicago, you can't sell fireworks, obviously. So it's a similar idea with Salt Lake. And they're not in Salt Lake proper, but to Elijah's point, we are ranking into a major metro. And this was a great before and after of, I've been in business for 5 years. I do digital marketing for 1 year, and I've doubled my revenue. And I've added 2,000 contacts that I couldn't reach out to before, and now I can. And so we won't take you into the back end of this client like we did the first, but suffice to say, the proof is in the pudding, right? And the fireworks space is definitely, hey, this all sounds nice, but what does this mean for me? So if you talk to us and you talk about investing money into marketing, we're going to direct you to examples like this. No marketer should make a guarantee. No marketer should sell snake oil and say, this is exactly what will happen, because that's just not reality. We don't know exactly what will happen. We don't know whether you're going to double, if your first season is going to be banging, or if it's going to take a couple of seasons to get it going. But the idea of consistency, that is the thing. And some people in their first season do blow the ship out of the water, and it's just dramatic. But everyone over time sees dramatic success. And that is what I want to leave you with as we get into 2026. I want to help you have dramatic success over this year, the coming years, and I think this year uniquely is positioned to give a lot of people dramatic success, especially those who are completely anonymous online. Because Google doesn't care how big you are, how long you've been in business, how many stands or stores you have. They don't care about any of that. Google cares about how you show up to them through your website and your Google page. You can be a 10 by 10 tent, which that would be crazy, but you can be the smallest stand possible and you can outrank all the big stores. Google does not care. They care about the signals you're sending them, and that is what we're good at. That's what we help with. And if you need help, go grab a call with us. Let's talk early in the year to get you guys the help you need, and we'll go live again next week and present on some other topics and tactics, some other case studies. We'll talk shop. We'll talk about meta ads. So keep checking back to our channel. Make sure you click subscribe. Let us know what your questions are as a follow-up or via email, and we'll be glad to help. But thanks for joining us, and we'll talk to you guys soon. And thank you, Elijah. Great job walking through all that data.
Yeah. We'll see you guys later.
All right. See ya.